Hi everyone and welcome to Wednesday Life. I am back from vacation. I know last week we skipped, but this week we're back. And I wanted to go live real quick. I actually was kind of scrambling for a topic today, but then something came to mind. So today I'm specifically talking to all the empath entrepreneurs. So people who are highly sensitive and consider themselves entrepreneurs. We're talking about when is it time to level up, especially when you have a business. When I started out my business, everything went pretty well for a couple time, for a specific time frame, and then I really started to get exhausted, anxious, frustrated, overwhelmed. It was no longer fun. Like I really dragged myself every morning to create my business and to create more content and do more stuff. So as an entrepreneur, our daily life, or as an empath entrepreneur, our daily life looks so different than with other entrepreneurs that we know out there. Our priorities should be about getting grounded, staying centered, and breathing and meditation. But however, not really many even think about that. Many even don't know that they are empath. They just don't know that they feel things a little different and that they're more emotionally driven. So if you can relate to that, you probably know. Again, most of us don't even prioritize any of that. The grounding, the balancing, we don't think about it. We just get into doing mode and busy mode, and that's what we're doing. We create everything like everyone else. We create a business plan, we create a monthly plan, we create goals, and we're going after them. But we forget that we as empath, as highly sensitive people, our body and our mind works totally different than with other entrepreneurs. So our business is working differently too. To really tap into our creative, inspired self, we have to focus on self-care. And that is really not selfish. I realize with most of my clients that I work with that they believe that self-care is selfish, that they have to take care of everyone else. But that is not true. It is actually a necessity for you to really be present with everyone that you want to reach through your business. Because as we know now, or as we know, empath do work that always is for a greater good. So the last couple days, or last week, I read a book. It's called The Alchemist. Most of you probably know, and I think that shows up backwards. But either way, I wanted to read a passage from The Alchemist to you. And it talks about the future and how to create the future. How do I guess at the future? Based on the omens of the present. The secret is here in the present. If you pay attention to the present, you can improve upon it. And if you improve on the present, what comes later will also be better. Forget about the future and live each day according to the teachings, confident that God loves his children. Each day in itself brings with it an eternity. So if we are only focused on the goals, on what is ahead of us, we don't really change any outcome. Only when we are in the present moment and we realize, hey, I need to actually be grounded, I need to feel balanced, to be creative, to be able to write, to be able to speak, to be able to create poems, to be able to draw and paint. And that's when we can change that in the present. That's when we can change the future and the outcome that we really want to see. But most of us are really just focused on what's ahead of us and not what is here. I thought that was a really great passage in the book. The book is, by the way, incredible anyway, so if you haven't read it yet, it's great. It's a quick read. Read it, The Alchemist. What I'm realizing with almost every client is that they love to discover what their passion is, what their calling is, and what their purpose is. However, that's where it literally stops. They are not quite willing to really live it, because once they discover it, they know they have to step into a different picture, something that requires so much more grounding of them. so much more understanding of where they need to go and where they have to be in the present moment to reach and to get where they want to go. And that doesn't mean, like, I know a lot of empaths, but I don't want to be a speaker. I don't want to be out there. That's fine. It's not about the size of what you do. It's about the size of the mindset, of the intentions that you set for your business and how it's supposed to change lives. So for example, if you just do some kind of background work with someone and you really, really enjoy it, if it's working as a VA, but you're an empath, then you can set the intention that the work that you do today for your client will have a ripple effect that will impact a much bigger audience that you're not even aware of. So it is the intention in regards to your mindset that creates the size of your dream. I hope that makes sense. To most people it does who work with me or who know my work, but I hope this makes sense to you too. I know from my own example, I create a lot of things. Like every day I'm like, okay, I need to work on this online program. I need to create more different sessions. I need to involve more clients. And with that being said, I do have a spot opening up for June if anyone's interested to working with me. But that aside, I know what I have to do on a basis, but what I'm realizing is that the more I get out there, the more I need to be grounded and balanced, and I don't do that very often until I crash, literally. And so every time I'm realizing I'm on a level and I plateau, I know what I actually have to do is to ground more, to protect myself energetically and emotionally more, to be able to get to that next level. And this is often something that most people miss. I see that with clients and I see it even with myself. That's why I work with my coach too. And so the more I'm out there, the more I have to do the inward work. And my mind is saying, I can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't get there. Like, when am I supposed to do that? More grounding, more meditation, when, how, what. But that again keeps me on that level, and at some point I plateau and I hit the wall. So the more you need to be out there, the more you want to get to the next level, the more you have to ground, the more you have to do the inward work. As an empath, we hear our soul, our heart speak much louder than we may assume that we do. So consciously or not, it's always there. There's nothing that you can change around that. But we ignore it and we think that the fear we experience is there for a reason. It's trying to tell us, oh, maybe we're not supposed to do that. Maybe we're not meant to do that. But that is not true. Because think about this, and that's something that really is an interesting concept for me. Maybe not being able to take our ideas to the next level is more about being afraid to lose what we've already gained. So when we take it to the next level, we may actually be afraid to lose what we already have created now, because we know the sweat and the hard work that we put into it. And so taking it to another level might freak us out, because what happens to what we already created? I put so much work into it. I can't just let it go. But sometimes taking yourself to the next level means you have to let go of something that you have created in the past. So it's not about the fear of getting out there. It's actually more about the concern that you would lose what you have already gained and the time that you worked so hard. But at the same time, it will make space for that new stuff that you can build onto, because the lessons from everything that you have learned in the past on what you created, you still take with you into the future, onto your next level. But it's interesting, in the book it says, the alchemist says actually, and I quote, "Your heart will never stop being quiet ever again. And every time you listen will be another encounter with God." So your heart will never listen. So if you decide to stay and plateau on this level and you're not taking it, your heart will still continue to bug you and you want to, and you're like, oh, I can't find this happiness, I can't find success, because success really is not considered with, or it's not the level of money that you make. Success is the level of inner peace and how you experience. So your heart will always continue to speak to you, and when it does, it means you have to level up. The noise of this world makes it often very, very difficult for us to really listen. And with that, we listen less and less, and we ignore it, we avoid it, because again, often we hear that voice, I don't have time for that. I can't do more of that inward work because I actually need to go out there and do stuff and put the action in place. And that's probably true. But at the same time, the foundation starts to crack when you ignore it. And when the foundation cracks, eventually the whole house will break down. And that is where you do not want to go, because that is the stage where every entrepreneur, no matter if you're an empath or not, will crumble and will give up. And we don't want that, because you have a purpose and that needs to be out there that you need to share with other people. So, just to summarize a little bit. So when you start out as an entrepreneur, being an empath, you can only go so far by doing the things that you know you're supposed to do. If it's a website, if it's social media, all of that. You can only get so far until you realize you're at a point where nothing else, whatever you do, doesn't work. And that's the first level where you have to recognize the inward work is more important than what you do on the outside at this point to be able to level up. For many entrepreneurs, or for many empath entrepreneurs really, they need to up level. When they need to up level, they need to level down, which means down inside. To level up, you need to level down. Down to the heart, to the soul, and to really listen and feel guided and be emotionally ready to where you want to go. So the next up level then after that, once you are able and you recognize, oh, I have to do the downward work more and be more grounded and protected and centered, then the next level comes, the next up level comes, shows often when we get so attached to our work that we forget why we do what we do, or what we do right now in the first place. We forget the bigger picture. So we're so focused and have like a tunnel vision going on for our business and our goals and how many clients and how many business programs and online courses and all that we forget about the bigger picture. And for me, it is time to up level again in my business. I made a couple changes for myself, but just taking a break. Like when I was on vacation, I realized that I hit that level again. I started to really forget, oh, what is that bigger dream that I have, the bigger purpose? And once I really started to recall it and to read my old notes about my vision, that's when I knew, okay, I have to up level. But I also have to protect myself more because it means I'm more out there. So those are different levels that I want to talk with you about as an empath entrepreneur, as someone who's highly sensitive. Obviously, it probably is for any entrepreneur really important to understand, but especially for empath entrepreneurs. So that's, when you plateau and you feel like nothing is moving, it is the time to level. It's time to level up by leveling down inside within, to really connect with your soul and to protect yourself more. And then the next level is when you have to remember the big vision, the big purpose, the greater purpose of your message, not just of the work that you do, but your message, the intention that you set with your mind and your heart. That is usually the next plateau people hit, and then after that they're pretty good at soaring. So when we understand that, your soul can soar, your heart can really work and be passionate about the work, and you don't feel like you have to, you get your passion back. So I hope that helped some of you who listen. There were a couple of people on and off that I saw coming online. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Sebastian. That's actually my cousin. So he probably finds it interesting to hear me speak in English. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope it was helpful. If you did find it helpful, please let me know. Just kind of give me a little bit of feedback, because obviously with all the noise on Facebook, sometimes you feel like you are talking to yourself, which I do right now a little bit. So if you like that, if it helped you, or if you have any questions, please let me know. If you are an empath, or even how I created the term empath warrior, please join our group, World Visionaries United. It's an amazing group. Most of us are empath, and a lot of them are entrepreneurs as well, so it's kind of cool. If you have any questions, if you're interested in working with me more on that, just check out my website, isabelhunt.com. There's a lot of information, or just reach out. There's no obligation, just ask away. I am here, I'm available, and I would love to chat more with people on the live stream. No, I didn't, well, to be honest, I didn't let people know that I do live stream today because I was out last week. Either way, I will be here again next week, Wednesday, and I'm super excited. I'm not sure about the topic yet, but something will pop up as it did today. But I hope you're having a fantastic week, enjoying your time, and really just celebrating. Today is Wednesday, so think about what you can celebrate that you have already accomplished for this week, and what will excite you to finish up the rest of the week. Each day is an opportunity. So again, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys again later.